Everybody clearing. Okay, shuffling today. Oh, first off, I cut my hand yesterday. So I didn't do a reading because I had that issue. It's not bad. I healed it pretty much, but I'm back to shuffling today. So hi, I'm gonna do a reading. Anyways, okay, so today I'm hearing in the pre-shuffle, what has the timing of this journey done to benefit the twins? So literally I've got Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine decks here and Starseed Oracle for the union space. And I'm going to go down the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical and see what benefit to exactly the rate of the connection, the timing, all of it, what the ultimate benefits have been or are able to be seen at this time. So let's get into it. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the Divine Masculine Collective and for the Divine Feminines. What can we see regarding how the timing of this journey has influenced them on the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical levels as we can see it in these now moments. Okay, for the Divine Masculines, the energetics of telepathy, communication, the 5D, being able to astral project, I just heard, feeling and being receptive to the feminine in those levels, the tantric sexual connection, all of the energetics of it. In the spiritual, this has helped the Divine Masculines focus their astral energy that way and to really believe in. For many, they have been good at manipulating time and space with the power of their consciousness, with their faith, but they have not had a worthy counterpart that could dance in those realms. I just heard that's one of the advanced proofs of this connection for the Divine Masculines is the energetic exchange on that level. For the Feminines, the Fool. This is the true Fool. The Divine Feminines have realized what a fool for love they've been. Energetically, they always thought they were ready for the real thing, and this is the humbling of what the real thing really is, working through all the layers of it, not being able to come into union prematurely, not being able to force the connections into being, not being able to convince. This has shown the feminines the error of their ways spiritually and shown that the emotions, the thoughts were not true love. The earthly desires were not true love. They were foolish. They were short-sighted. Whoa. What is the connection in the spiritual realms doing at this time? Universal attunement and repatterning guidance. So Divine Masculines are attuning to the universal plane. The Divine Feminines attuning to the universal and not just being in the emotional bodies or the physical bodies or the mental bodies, but both are seeking for higher guidance and have become more spiritually aligned, repatterning entire lives towards that. Makes sense to me. What is going on the emotional level for the masculines? Oh, the Devil. Karma. Seeing all the emotional ins and outs of karma. The emotions are waking up in new ways on this journey. The juxtaposition of true connection over time, seeing it triangulated with karmic situations. This has been a major contemplation, a major learning of the world, leaving the world, and seeing the divine connections for what they are while going through the motions in the world and being able to incrementally look at the differences, see them, And I'm also hearing the slavery templates. The divine masculines have really come into understanding the sexual slavery, the way that the masculine has been bound by sexual impulses, specifically emotionally, with self-worth, with performance, with being the hero, the knight in shining armor, all of the things that are perpetuated and burdening masculine energy. They're seeing those dynamics. I didn't even name half of them, a fraction, but that's what's being seen emotionally, that there has been so much puppeteering, games, player energy that has permeated. And they're emotionally recovering from that, from the trauma of that. What are the feminines benefited by the speed of this journey emotionally? 3 of Cups, no longer jealous of third parties, working through the dynamics, no longer feeling just objectified or an option, no longer feeling like a feminine or truly a divine feminine could be replaced by anything, that it's karma. If you are kind and your heart is pure, there is no substitution for that, especially the true match. So divine feminines, you are understanding your worth, you're understanding the friendship of other feminines, you're understanding what truth is, and camaraderie, friendship, but not competition, lack, and threats. You've gotten past that. You've come into harmony about dynamics, and you only want what's for you now. Oh, that's beautiful. Ecstasy, rapture, flux, and amplification. Heartwave resonator. So on the emotional level, the twins are being brought into a resonance together, an ecstatic resonance. Ecstasy is no easy feat. You have to completely heal the sacral chakra in order to reach those levels of ecstasy. Divine feminines have gotten through the competition and at odds energy, and divine masculines have seen through the illusion and come up higher. Beautiful. Okay, for the conscious mind, what can we see for masculines? Stepping out of comfort zone and going towards the twin flame, 2 of Wands. So on the conscious mind, this has really shown distance makes the heart grow fonder, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Divine masculines have seen logically what the value in going towards the feminine is, the extraordinary life, the rising up, leaving comfort zone, leaving the familiar patterns, leaving the karmic patterns, leaving the known world, and being called onward. And have learned that distance is no thing, that energetic navigation. And that's what the real deal is, that nothing in the physical is a limitation. This is on the conscious mind. And for the feminines on the conscious mind, the 7 of Swords is a card of strategy and secrecy. In the reverse, it's like need to know basis. So the divine feminines on the conscious mind have learned to pick their battles, learn to not need to know everything, learn to read reality, be realists, be grounded, be practical with what is, rather than flights of fancy and being in overwhelm or hypervigilance. Divine feminines have calmed that, and now to each their own, and if it gels, it gels. In the connection space for the conscious mind, Temple of elevated senses, impeccability, advancement, and loftiness. Exactly. So divine masculines are being drawn up and out of the world, being brought into refinement, and so are the divine feminines. So masculines are stepping physically out of their comfort zone and habitual patterns, the default mechanisms, and divine feminines are much more comfortable in their autonomy, much more safe and protected in focusing on, got the serenity prayer there, what is theirs, what is someone else's, and being able to know the difference. In the physical, what are the masculines benefited? Oh, love, being able to show up, being able to wear the heart on the sleeve, being able to be romantic, free to be present, to love. What are the feminines? Oh, there's victory. being receptive. This is a masculine riding back from battle and to come and promise connection with a bride. So this, in this card, feminines are receptive to connection with somebody who has won the karmic battle and ready. This is very harmonious together there. What is the connection card? Auric cleansing, replenishment, renewal, and restoration. So there is a renewal here because the feminines are actually able to receive a gallant victor in love, and divine masculines actually have the love to give. That's so interesting. Just a side note, I've been married twice, and I remember my first husband saying when we separated that he just hadn't the love to give. And that was so beautiful. That actually came back to me. It's like 14 years ago that was said. And he just apologized and said he didn't have the love to give. And now the masculine collective is getting the love, having enough love to actually give love and receive. So divine feminines are finally able to receive, and masculines are finally able to give. There is a renewal in that light. That is the proper order of things. Okay, and I'm going to say the typical, well, take gender as it resonates, but the masculines are givers and the feminines are biologically receivers, right? Okay, so let's get into the daily divine masculine. So what can we see, divine creator, for the divine masculines? What are the divine masculines thinking and feeling about the connection? What are the divine masculines wishing for the connection? What are they doing towards the connection at this time? What is the biggest challenge? What is the spirit guided solution for that challenge? Where is the energy going in the near future? A card just popped off the top of another deck. What is it? Oh, 4 Wands. Union. Okay, so I'm going to leave that face up just because that's so serendipitous. But what can we see for the clarifiers? And then I'm going to get some cards for the divine feminines, for what the divine feminines can consider at this time in light of what we see in the masculine cards. One more shuffle. What are the best, highest messages for the feminines to go along with these? Okay, divine masculines on the conscious mind. 10 of Wands and 3 of Pentacles. So more of the drop through of the 3D to see the energetics regarding any karmic burdens still left to clean up. So divine masculines are still looking at the things that are energy drains in their life for the deeper reasons. Why is that? What is the energetic reason for this burden being there? So divine masculines are still looking at any of the heaviness in this connection with divine feminine, and with anything that is still in their lives that holds them back from coming towards divine feminine. What does divine feminine need to know about that? The new beginning's coming. This is the sexual, passionate connection, the most phallic card in the deck. This is when the spirit and the physical align and there's an initiation of something. So when this burden, the 10 of Wands also reduces to the Ace of Wands. So they're almost there. They're on their way. They're coming, I heard. And so this Ace of Wands, divine feminine, this is the promise. This is reminding me of a sun, the new day coming here, as the divine masculines continue to see more than meets the eye regarding burden and the 3D. This new inspiration is ramping up. What can we see on the heart space from the divine masculines? Ooh, 9 of Swords regarding separation energy. So they're working on the anxiety still. These eclipses have been very fundamental in allowing the divine masculines to forgive themselves for not having come forward on the journey, for not feeling attraction for the feminine, all sorts of things. because they've been following higher guidance. It's like clicking that that's what they've been doing all along. It hasn't been the feminine. It hasn't been that there's been a fault. It hasn't been that there's been something wrong with the masculines, because they've thought, has there been something wrong with me that I just can't feel this for this beautiful person? And so the divine masculines are putting down all of that and dropping into the safety, looking at that this isn't actually separation, it's been divine timing. What can the feminines know about that? Queen of Swords. So you've got some faulty logic here, divine feminines, that still make this a rejection or a acceptance template. Work on anything that you're still harboring against your masculine about having not been chosen, any of your self-worth issues. This is saying there are still ways that that's affecting you, that you're taking it personally, that your divine masculine hasn't bridged the gap. This is a deep, deep heart work that the masculines are going through, forgiving themselves for not having been ready yet. And you need to do the same. You need to unhook from anything about yourself that you are telling yourself you're not worthy or haven't been chosen, all of that. So lots of mindset work going on, connected with the heart's knowing of these connections. What can we see for the wishes of the masculines? Ooh, the Emperor, 3 of Cups in the reverse. So the divine masculines are not wishing for multiple options now. They are aligned with their sexuality. And it's really interesting here because we have a feminine in the masculine seat of the Emperor. So gender role reversals here, or coming into an admission of true sexuality, sexual orientation, and not playing the field, not trying to discover what it is yet. There's an embodiment. The masculine has embodied their own feminine and worked through sexual kinks, I just heard, but there's been some exploration with multiple partners or karmic partners and divine feminine, all the concepts. This is also the friend zone stuff turning around and moving in the direction of embodied sexuality and expression. So for many masculines, there's this new, softer, more romantic, more feminine sexuality that's coming in that isn't so timid of expressing themselves and their sexual preferences and owning it all. I just heard gender fluid, so there's a lot of embodiment of the present moment and not having to be so black and white, legalistic, cut and dry about friend zone or not as well. There's just this encompassing energy. It's an expansive energy. What can the feminines see about that? There's that 7 of Swords again, this need to know basis. You will know all of the things that are playing out regarding the reasons your divine masculine has been hesitant sexually. Specifically, I'm getting there with the third party energy and all this fluid dynamics, that your divine masculine has been working on their sexuality. It's been a bumpy ride, I just heard, for some, but you will know these things when it's time. And if you are exploring some of the things that you thought were deal breakers in the past, divine feminine, and now you're coming to new truths about your own sexual preferences, your own sexuality, it might be that your divine masculine is also going through some revelations about how gender roles have really screwed up the dynamics, or the imprinting of what's culturally acceptable has really screwed up the dynamics of self-worth and sexual expression. So really pay attention to you, divine feminine, about your current assessment of where you're at with all of that. Sexual dynamics, things that turn you on, all of that. Get to know yourself, your sexuality much more clearly, without judgment, more mercy, humility, compassion, and understand that your divine masculine is this high-level emperor coming into the knowing. Know thyself. Okay, what? And trust it, divine feminines. You don't need to know this stuff, and you're just meant to focus on you now. Okay, so what is the biggest challenge? Oh, wow. For the divine, oh, this is the action. Sorry, this is the action. So we get King of Swords in the reverse, and we got the Queen of Swords in the reverse, and the King of Pentacles. So divine masculines are looking at all the things that were not true in order to come into connection, commitment, long-term, to spend more time with you, divine feminines. So you're being asked to look at this, and that is so mirrored. King and Queen of Swords in the reverse. So divine masculines also know they've had a lot of misconceptions, a lot of false judgments of self and other. They're really looking at that right now, so they can balance out. It never feels right to go into commitment when you have these subconscious and conscious paradoxes, insecurities, things you just can't get past. Your heart's not in it. And twin flame dynamics, you can never come into union when there are these discrepancies. It will never feel right. Karmic situations, yes, we gloss over these, we pretend they're not there, and we get thrown into those. These slow-paced twin dynamics don't allow for that to happen and be there. So divine masculines, divine feminines, everybody is purging, clearing, really being honest, really getting into the deep, finicky assessments of thoughts and beliefs and imprinting towards balancing out authenticity at a profound level. What do the feminines need to know about that? Freeing your own mind. Things aren't as scary as you've made them seem, feminines, to yourself. We all come by it naturally because of our imprinting, because of the code of conduct that we're all taught to play by. But there is a bigger picture than all of the earthly paradigms. Your divine masculine is coming up and out of those things, out of the gender roles and stereotypes, the stigmas, all of it, and just loving themselves, loving their darn selves, I heard, for who they really are. And so you're meant to really get honest. If you have hang-ups in certain areas, it may be that there's a truth for you that you haven't seen yet, and so that hang-up keeps you bound because you haven't seen the truth that sets you free. Consider that. It doesn't mean like homophobia. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are not heterosexual. It can mean that there are things you haven't resolved. That was an example. So there are lots of rising above, divine feminine. Explore anything that you have as an issue so that you can see the light, the truth in it, because your divine masculine is also doing that right now. Come into the clarity of love, not fear. What is the biggest challenge for the masculines? Knight of Coins and Page of Pentacles. Okay, so these aren't King and Queen energies, but the biggest challenge is how to go forward on the foundation that's being established within this new balanced, whole, integrated masculine, feminine energy, more of an androgynous energy. I'm seeing the twin flames as Swiss Army knives, like up for any challenge, because those genders have been the duality of the genders are being polarized in and embodied, and so there's this inner foundation that the masculines are now challenged to show up from and to offer from this more authentic place that does not have a filter of what others would think anymore. Oh, I just heard wear the skirt, divine masculine. Oh my gosh. Okay, for the divine feminines, King of Swords in the upright. So we just got that was the action the masculines were taking, was trying to come to this truth, and we got the eagle for the divine feminines rising above. Here it is when both twins receive this higher truth and sets them free on these higher levels. That's when things can manifest in the physical. Pentacles are the physical. So divine feminines, just know that your divine masculine is showing up from this new place in the physical where they have embodied their masculine and feminine polarity. They've got enough practice with it now that they are truly showing up differently, and you will see in no uncertain terms the results of that feminence. You're going to start seeing, and it could be just simple ways that your masculine is communicating. Pages are about communication, and so little things in the physical that you may see. I heard song channeling for some still, but physical. This can be an apology, it can be a short message, it can be that they are more curious about you rather than them or keeping the energy tight. Okay, what is the spirit guided solution for the masculines? Oh, Queen of Swords in the upright with the Lovers, everybody. So we got the King and Queen of Swords in the reverse earlier in the reading, and the solution shows the King and Queen of Swords in the upright. Anybody else amazed by cards? I'm so amazed that the cards come out this way. And then we get the conscious recognition of the love here. Lovers in the upright is the layer of love that exists whether we believe in it or not. In the reverse, for me, it's when people are conscious of that. So we have now the conscious couple, and the King and Queen of Swords are the mind space. So the last remaining unconscious or misguided or misconceived opinions of love, we have this transformation, the freedom coming in where both counterparts have seen the truth, the explicit truth of the love, what love really is. It's mutual. We have profound, high level, conscious recognition. You can't get more conscious than this, that both counterparts now know what love is. So that's the solution. Keep going towards knowing what love is, and at the end of that day, your divine counterpart is the last one standing. Quite simply that way. What is the card here? Princess of Pentacles. So we get another duplicate. So divine masculines are going to be, so that's the Page of Pentacles that we just saw, the kindness and showing up in a new way. There's going to be communication that starts fresh, not at a 0, but at a court card level interaction. There's a new way of communicating coming in because everybody has seen things in a new way, a new level. So when physical connection starts coming in again, it will be like never before, I just heard. And that stands to reason because of the conjunction of Mars and Venus, the amicable, unconditional friendship energy, and now things can unfold naturally because there is an accurate baseline. Energetically, that's a cosmic thing. We're in the luck of the draw that we're incarnate right now because humanity's going through this place in space that affects us this way. It's such a miraculous apparatus. This reality is an apparatus of love. Oh my gosh, where is the connection going in the near future? Oh, there's the burden ending for heartache. The burden of the heartache that's been in this connection is going away. We're at the final straw, the final ending. When we see the truth, it does set us free. So twins, we are getting down to clearing the karmic burden once and for all. It's all going away. Setting healthy boundaries, trailblazing, going forward to this new dawn, this new future. This looks like Adam's calendar in Africa, one of the oldest archaeological areas ever. It's really interesting. It's like a return to the original templates I'm hearing. Wow, that's profound. So 7 of Wands, this is the trailblazing. This is a beautiful, beautiful victory over heartache for both twins. Okay, let's get an energetic card. I'm being reminded to show you the union card again, the 4 of Wands. This is another union energy reading. So for the masculines watching, what can we see? What can the divine masculines see? Oh, we get auric cleansing again. Replenishment, renewal, restoration. So seal your aura from anything that has been abrasive, divine masculines, anything that's worn you down, anything that's worn you thin, brings your energy down. remove yourself and restore. Take time to heal. Now that you're seeing those things for what they are, replenish yourself, divine masculines. And that means thinking the appropriate thoughts, but loving yourself profoundly. And you also get Seal of Metatron, form, structure, foundation, and cosmology. Exactly. You're showing up a brand new whole creature. And so it's a whole different ball game now. A whole new cosmology. Seal of Metatron means you've been sealed in the wisdom teachings, that you now have graduated in the principles of manifestation. Metatron is the archangel of manifestation. You've graduated. Divine masculines, you really have come through this upper level of Earth school regarding free will manifestation with flying colors. And now you're getting this new energetic body because you've reached this level of mastery. That's very beautiful. And divine feminines, what can we see? Harmonic oscillator, timing, rhythm, synchronization, and frequency. So when people are on the same page, that's when connection can truly connect and resonate. If you are of two different frequencies, there will be an instability waveform. And that's what happens in karmic situations when the karmic glue binds two together that are unequally partnered, unequally aligned. There's that static, that volatile energy. With these twin unions, that doesn't happen. The work is done before union, and then it's harmonized when two come together. So that's another marker. That's a message that that's when union comes in. And then we are getting the reminder for divine feminines, seal of fulfilled transformation, alchemy, metamorphosis, and wow, alchemy, metamorphosis, and karmic completion. So divine feminines, focus on completing the karma. Anything that's still to do, anything on your plate from your old lives, any changes you know you have to make, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Just keep swimming. You've got this. And we get chamber of regeneration, creation, multiplication, and growth. And that is very mirrored with the masculine replenishment, renewal, and restoration. They go hand in hand. So as time allows, as we progress, you will see that. There's another card of tranquility, patience, dissolution. So things falling away, the karmic clearing that is representing or that is representative of the karmic completion. Now things can be released. Things aren't released before the karma is cleared. It's when something is obsolete or no longer a frequency match that it gets released, not before. It doesn't get released first. It gets released after the breakthrough comes in. And then subconscious awareness, Akashic information. So divine feminines continue to search all the levels for recognition of your presence, of the things that are no longer a fit, and any of the unnecessary overreaching for the future, or the skepticism, paranoia, distrust of what's showing up for you in each moment. That includes things that aren't showing up, like your divine masculine. It includes other people coming towards you that you're feeling drawn to. Honor all of those things. Honor what is for you, what is in your presence, and how you are genuinely feeling in response to all of those things. Be the embodiment of love and meet love wherever it arises to you in your physical world as deeply as you can connect with it. Many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.